ॐ श्रीगणेशाय नमः। श्रीसरस्वत्यै नमः। श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम्। अन्तर्यश्च बहिर्विधूततिमिरं ज्योतिर्मयं शाश्वतं स्थानं प्राप्य विराजते विनमताम् अज्ञानमुन्मूलयन् पश्यन् विश्वमपीदमुल्लसति यो विश्वस्य पारे परः तस्मै श्रीरमणाय लोकगुरवे शोकस्य हन्त्रे नमः। We are seeing the text called as Saddarshanam. Last time we saw Raman Maharshi ji explained that time, space, all are relative. We think I am here at such and such time and moment, but both these ideas, the idea of time and space, are relative to this body. From the standpoint of absolute truth, the self, they do not exist. Having explained this, the topic came to the enlightened sages. Enlightened people, Jivan Muktas, we see them in transacting in the world, interacting with people, doing all the activities that other people do. Then what is the difference between them and the people who have not yet directly perceived, have got, those who have not got the direct vision of Paramatma Brahman? Let us see. But before we begin with today's inquiry, let us do the Mangalacharana and chant 16th, 17th, 18th verse. सत्प्रत्ययाः किन्नु विहाय सन्तम् हृद्येष चिन्ता रहितो हृदाख्यः कथं स्मरामस्तममेयमेकम् तस्य स्मृतिस्तत्र दृढैव निष्ठा मृत्युञ्जयम् मृत्युभयाश्रितानाम् अहं मतिर्मृत्युमुपैति पूर्वम् अथ स्वभावादमृतेषु तेषु कथं पुनर्मृत्युधियोऽवकाशः। तद्युष्मदोरस्मदि सम्प्रतिष्ठा तस्मिन् विनष्टे स्मदिमूलबोधात् तद्युष्मदस्मन्मतिवर्जितैका स्थितिर्ज्वलन्ती सहजात्मनः स्यात् भूतं भविष्यच्च भवत्स्वकाले तद्वर्तमानस्य विहाय तत्त्वं हास्यान किं स्यात् गतभाविचर्चा विनैकसङ्ख्यां गणनेव लोके क्व भाति दिक्कालकथा विनास्मान् दिक्काललीले हवपुर्वयञ्चेत् न क्वापि भामो न कदापि भामो वयं तु सर्वत्र सदा च भामः देहात्मभा Let us chant the 19th verse. देहात्मभावे ज्ञजडौ समानौ एकस्य देहे हृदि दीप्त आत्मा आक्रम्य देहं च जगच्च पूर्ण जगच्च पूर्णः परस्य मेयं तनुमात्रमात्मा Raman Maharshi is saying in 19th verse, Dehatma bhave jnajadau samano. Dehatma bhave. Deha atma iti bhava. In the state of oneself being body. In other words, when identifying with this body, when being aware of this body, Dehatma bhave, Nyajadau, Nya, a wise man, the one who has known the truth, enlightened person, Jivan Mukta. Jadau, Jada, an ignorant man. Samano, are same. A knowledgeable person and ignorant person, they both are same. But there is one difference. What is it? Ekasya dehe. Ekasya dehe hridi. For one, in the heart, in the body, in his antahkarana, in this body, Deeptaha Atma, the self is shining. Purnaha, full. Deham cha jagatcha akramya. Akramya, encompassing, pervading, covering. Dehancha jagatcha, the body and the world. And parasya, for the other one, for latter, that means for jada, the ignorant person. Atma, the self. Tanumatram, only as the body, mayam, measurable. General meaning, in the state of oneself being the body, that means while identifying with this body, the wise man, the Jivan Mukta, and ignorant person, Ajnani and Ajnani, they are same. There is no difference at all. When it is said there is no difference at all, their transactions are going to be same. Yet, there is one difference for one, that means who is jnani, in his heart, in his body, in his antahkarana, in this body, he knows that the self is shining, self-effulgent, self is lit up, it is all pervading, purna, and it is encompassing, pervading this body and this entire world. He is, while identifying with his body, while transacting with this body, he knows that I, the self, is not limited to this body, but it is pervading all. When we see in detail, we will see what it is, what the vision is. But for the latter, that is the other one, an ignorant person, ajnani, the self is measurable only as the body. So he thinks that I is limited to this body alone. What is the difference? What is the question behind this explanation? Let us understand. The thing is, many times we see people transacting around, many sadhu, mahatma, great people, sages, enlightened people, jivan mukta. They can be seen, of course, We may know, we may not know if he is enlightened or not, but if we see a Jivan Mukta Mahatma transacting in the world, we hear stories, they talking with people, transacting with the world. Last time we saw the example of Raman Maharshi ji himself. Person asked, "Do you sleep?" Person said to Raman Maharshi ji, "I saw you sleeping." Raman Maharshi ji said, "I also saw myself sleeping." That is the difference in vision. So that's where the question arises. If they also are transacting in the world, what is the difference between Jivan Mukta? We can see them eating, we can see them sleeping, we can see them going around, buying things, doing the same things as we do. Then what is the difference between them and us? The difference is in the vision. What is the difference between the vision that has been described, explained in this verse? Jivan Mukta Mahatma usually will always be thinking of his own true nature, own true self, absorbed in his Swarupa. He will not be aware of the world around. But on account of the prarabdha for this body, prarabdha, I am going to keep the word prarabdha, not use the word fate. It can loosely be translated as fate, but prarabdha. Prarabdha, the karmas, all the actions that he has performed previously and they have started giving results in this body. So, on account of prarabdha, the results that he has to undergo, the experience of karma phala, results of action that he has to undergo, all those, all those karma phalas, they prompt him to be aware of this body and the world around. As if they push that person out of his self absorption, as though. Yet, when he is aware of the body, he has not forgotten that he is self Atma. That's why there is difference between his vision and vision of Ajnani. In Bhagavad Gita, in many places, the same thing has been explained as samadrushti, equanimous. His vision is same towards all. Shunichaiva shvapake cha pandita samadarshinaha. They do not see any difference at all. They do not see something as conducive, non-conducive, good or bad. That does not mean that they are going to act like crazy or fool. They are going to act according to the rules and vision. But that's how it is. So, one who does not know his true nature, true identity is called ignorant, and the one who knows his own true nature, the self, capital S, he is called as jnani. Now, when such a jnani, as stated earlier, as explained, as told earlier, becomes aware of his gross body, this body, he will transact, he will do activities like any other person. When he is hungry, he will eat food. When he is thirsty, he will drink water. He will not say that I am Atma, I don't need, there is no thirst for me, I will not drink water. No. But while doing all these, what is his vision changes everything. Let us, while keeping the topic related to this verse, let us slightly digress. Let me tell you an interesting thing. We may have referred to this earlier, we may have seen this. In Chandogyopanishad, there is a word which we commonly use for sleeping. Swapiti has been described in a certain way. Swapiti. The word is swapiti as in sleep. Swapiti by itself is a verb, kriya padam. It is a verb meaning to sleep. Saha swapiti. He is sleeping. But in Chandogyopanishad, the etymology of swapiti has been given as swam apitaha bhavati. Swam apitaha bhavati. Swam apito bhavati, reaching, attaining oneself. Swam atmanam, one's own true nature, one's own true self. Apitaha, attaining, gaining, reaching. Bhavati. Everyone, each and every jiva, when he undergoes sleep, when he is in sushuptyavastha, deep sleep, what really has happened is he has merged back, become one with his own true self. And this happens with each and every jiva. The only problem is because of ignorance they do not know. Because of ignorance they do not know. Now, in the state of Swapiti, Sushuptyavastha, deep sleep, everybody has become one, merged into one's own true nature, self. But when they wake up with the same ignorance and its effects. All these jivas, when they wake up with ignorance and its effects. Therefore, when tiger goes to sleep and wakes up, he wakes up as tiger, mosquito wakes up as mosquito, fly wakes up as fly, parrot wakes up as parrot, insects wake up as insects, and human beings wake up as human beings as their individual self, jivas. But for a jnani Mahatma, on account of his sadhana, etc., once he has got that vision, the truth, once he has experienced his own true self, so he has merged back into his own true self, he is one with his own true self, Atma, absorbed in his Swarupa, his own true nature. That state is same like an ignorant person. So for an ignorant person and for Jnani, when they both are in deep sleep, for Jnani, he has become one with his own Swarupa. For ignorant, he also has become his own Swarupa. In a way, there is no difference at all. But when waking up, when they both become aware of the world around, for ignorant person, he is as ignorant as he was when he went to sleep. The same foolish person. But for Jnani, even after he wakes up, he knows that the state in which he is right now is just superimposition and identification that he has taken up. He will not wake up as a jiva. He will know even after waking up what his own true nature is, and with that vision he will transact in the world. Therefore, dehatma bhave jnajadau samano. When identified with this body, when being aware of this body, Nya and Jada, Jnani and Ajnani, both are same. But Jnani knows ekasya dehe hrudi deepta atma akramya dehancha jagatcha purna. Jnani knows that he is that atma, that self, that pure consciousness awareness principle which is shining in his own heart, antahkarana, which is there in his antahkarana as in the adhisthana as substratum because of which all this is existing, and that Atma Tattva, that self, that pure awareness consciousness principle has pervaded not just this body but the entire world. Drushti jnanamayim krutva pashyet sarvamidam jagat. He sees as this entire world, the entire creation, as his own reflection, own swarupa. Therefore, in Bhagavad Gita it is said, Sukha dukhe same krutva labhau labhau jaya jayo. That reference is different, but here, Sukha dukhe same krutva, for Sukha and Dukkha, he sees everything same. Shunichaiva Shwapake cha Pandita Samadarshinaha. Whether it is Brahmane Gavihastini, let that be any human being, individual, good thing or bad thing, he sees everything as same as self, Atma alone. एकस्य देहे हृदि दीप्त आत्मा आक्रम्य देहंच जगच्च पूर्ण. That Atma is Purna, full, complete, without any limitation, filled up to brim. There is nothing else. It is just self and self alone. With this idea, they will transact, they will act in the world. If such is their vision, then we have a question. How can they act? How can they interact with the world? How can they interact with people? I know, I can understand that they have the vision of self everywhere. Then how do they act? Will they eat anything? If we serve very spicy food, will they eat that also? Will they eat stones or mud? Because they have the vision of self everywhere. Therefore, will they eat that which is not food? No. Then how do they transact in the world? How do they act? How is it possible for them to act in the world? Even while being aware of this body, it is because of Purva Samskara, prior impressions. The impressions in Antahkarana, mind, because of which they transact. Because of Samskara, they will do exactly like ignorant person will do, but they will not be aware of those activities. They will not be karta or bhokta, doer or enjoyer of those activities. Let us take a very beautiful example from Yoga Vasishtha. That example will satisfy, explain, or give the answer to this question. How the activities take place. The example is of a small child. He is very sleepy, he has almost fallen asleep, but he has not eaten anything. Therefore, mother waits for some time for him to wake up so that she can feed him. But he doesn't seem to wake up. He is very much tired. So what mother does is, he just shakes him up. She wakes him up. The child barely wakes up. Mother says, have some food and go back to sleep again. The child wakes up, sits down, eats food, goes to sleep. Then when next day the child, that boy wakes up, he asks mother, why did you not give me food last night? I was so hungry. I wanted to eat food. You had made special food for me. You should have woken me up. This is this example or this experience is familiar to us. We may have experienced such thing. Sometimes when we are very much sleepy, we do activities, but we do not remember doing them. Why? What happened? All the activities that were performed without being aware of doing them. Same is the case with Jnani Mahatma. Then how did we perform those activities exactly as they should be? Because of samskara, impressions. Because of those impressions, samskara, vasana, we did all the activities as they should. At the same time, we were not aware of doing them. We were not doer or enjoyer. This is the case with jnani, a person who is aware, who knows his own true nature, swarupa. He knows that I am that immeasurable, infinite truth. I alone am and I alone appear as this body. And when I alone am and I alone am appearing this as this body, it is just me. The transactions with this body are just illusory, like a projection, a film or movie being projected on a screen. I am not this body, but body is inert, and I am that pure awareness principle, pure consciousness principle. Let the activities happen with this body as they should. This is the vision of Jnani. But for Ajnani, ekasya deh, parasya deham tanumatramatma. The one who does not know the truth, for him, the body is parasya. For him, other person, body is tanumatram. This sthula sharira, he identifies strongly. He thinks this alone is my body. This alone I am. I am not even an inch away from this body. So if someone comes near to me and touches me, why did he touch me? As if I am here and not there for him to touch me. In reality, in truth, I alone am. All bodies, entire world is superimposed in me. That is what is called as Drishti Jnanamayim Krutva. With the vision of knowledge, see this entire world. Adi Shankaracharya ji in another text, Aparoksha Anubhuti, he says, Yathaiva mrunmayam kumbham tadvad dehopi chinmayaha. Just as a mud pot is pervaded by mud, it is nothing but mud. In the same way, this body is nothing but Chaitanya and Chaitanya alone, pervaded by Chaitanya. In conclusion, Jnani, a wise man, a Jivan Mukta, also feels hunger, thirst, pain, diseases just like any normal human being, but his vision is different. He has no attachment with this body whatsoever. He will do all the activities as needed for this body as any other person, but in his vision, he is not affected, he is not hungry, he is not thirsty, he is not sick. This body is hungry, this body is thirsty, this body is sick. This vision, this thing has been explained very beautifully in detail by Adi Shankaracharya ji in Viveka Chudamani while talking about Panchakoshas and Avasthatraya, three Sharira, bodies, etc. There he explains all these qualities, Sukha, Dukkha, diseases, hunger, thirst, they do not belong to Atma, but they belong to this body, prana, like this gross body, prana, mana, buddhi, etc., they do not belong to me, the self. When you separate, when you do not identify with this body, you are who you are without identifying with this body, transact in the world when you are aware of this body. So, in short, Jnani Atma, Jnani Mahatma, Jivan Mukta, he is not attached with this body. He knows that this body is not me, I am that self. Therefore, there is difference between his vision and Ajnani's vision, where Ajnani thinks that he is this body. And when he identifies with this body, when Ajnani, ignorant person, or when, as in all the time he is identifying, but because Ajnani is identified with this body, he takes the qualities of this gross body as his. When Ajnani identifies with this body, he also takes qualities of this gross body as his. Then, what is the difference, or what is the attitude, the vision of Jnani Mahatma that is being explained now? 20th verse. अज्ञस्य विज्ञस्य च विश्वमस्ति पूर्वस्य दृश्यं जगदेव सत्यं परस्य दृश्याश्रयभूतमेकं सत्यं प्रपूर्णं प्रविभात्य रूपम्. Raman Maharshi is explaining ajnasya of an ignorant person, of ajnani, vidnyasya and of jnani, vishvam the world, asti is there, the world is there, purvasya for earlier one, drishyam jagat eva satyam, the seen world, drishyam jagat, the seen world, eva satyam, that alone is real, parasya, that is for jnani, ekam, the one, drishyashraya bhutam, that has become drishya ashraya, the substratum for the seen, prapurnam, full, arupam, without any form, satyam, truth, pravibhati, shines. Both jnani and ajnani, they are experiencing this world, but that means ajnasya vishwamasti, vidnyasya vishwamasti. For ajnani also the world is there, for jnani also the world is there, meaning the world exists for both the jnani and jnani, the ignorant person, and jivan mukta, jnani, the enlightened person. For them both the world is there. That means they both are aware of the world around. But for ignorant person, for ajnani, the seen world alone is real. The world that is being experienced, that alone is real. And for the other one, the one, the self, the one that has become the substratum, adhisthana, basis of the seen, the full formless truth shines. In other words, Jnani sees Brahman, the self, pure awareness, consciousness, existence principle everywhere. Let us see. The ignorant person also experiences this world, and Jnani, Jivan Mukta, also experiences this entire world. Then what is the difference between the two? When ignorant person is experiencing this world, he will experience the world as real. He will take everything to be real, true. He gives absolute reality to all his experiences. And therefore, what happens is he is bound by the experiences of this world. He will say, the temperature is changing now, it's becoming too hot and humid. The heat wave will be there, so I have to be careful. I have to take care of this body. I have to be drinking water very much. I have to drink lot of water. I have to drink lot of buttermilk, etc. It's too expensive. It's becoming difficult to live, etc. He will think about how he should act in the world, how he should transact in the world, all the things, all the worldly things. His thoughts are always of the world around, how he should live in this world, etc. And when he wants to get rid of sorrows, he will try to earn more and more money. He will try to increase his income. He will try to be financially stable. And by that, he will think of ways by which he can take care of his problem. During all these activities, he does not have time. He does not know how to get to the root of all the problems. Ajnasya vidnyasya cha vishwamasti purvasya, for ignorant person, jagadeva satyam, this world alone is truth. Therefore, all his activities will be according to that. Then, what is the difference? How do Jnani sees this world? To Jnani Mahatma, the world is unreal. It is just like a dream. It is ever changing. He does not see the world as it is. He sees as it he sees the substratum of this unreal world, the world that is being experienced by him. The substratum upon which this world appears, that substratum, the eternal truth, the reality which has no name and forms, which is full and infinite, that alone is the real thing. That's what Jnani sees. Let us see what is the difference in the vision with an example. Mm, a child and his father, they both are walking down the road. Child sees balloons and he wants balloons, so father buys him balloons. After the balloons are bought, child is happy, he is playing with that balloon. He wants to show that balloon to his mother. He is really happy. But when they come near their house, something happens and the balloon pops and blows up. The child starts crying. Child feels very unhappy. He is sad. Now, father, he is not crying. Why? There is difference between the vision of them both. The father knows it was a balloon, it was going to pop, it was going to break, it was going to burst, it was inevitable. And it's just a small thing for father, but for a child it's a really big thing. That's why child is crying and the father is not. Father knows it's not the big thing. He's not attached, but the child is. But if the same thing happens to father's car, will he not be sorrowful? Yes. It is just the difference in the vision. Another example. Do an experiment. While watching any movie or a show, just don't be concerned about anything that is happening in front of you. Just let it happen. Then what is the point in seeing the movie? Exactly. Once you get involved in that which is happening on the screen, whatever that is happening around, you will get attached and you will be affected by the happiness and sorrows or show explained in the world, explained in that movie, whatever that is being shown. Otherwise, you will be as you are who you are. That is the reality, that is the truth. You will be who you are. Adnyasya vidnyasya cha vishwamasti. Once you get attached, once you get involved, you will think that all that is happening on the screen is real and you will root for good person, you will get angry over bad person, so on and so forth. But if you are not attached, you think you are aware that whatever that is happening on the screen is not real, it is mithya, it is illusory, it is just a play. You will not get attached, you will not feel sorrowful, you will be happy, you will be who you are. In the same way, a Jnani Mahatma sees this entire world as play of Maya, ignorance, a superimposition on that substratum which is Satyam Prapurnam, Satya, the real, which is formless, which is all pervading, and that which is the ashraya, the substratum basis for this entire projection. Just as any performer, any actor never forgets that he is acting, in the same way, Jnani Mahatma never forgets that he is performing, acting in this world, and he applauds, he cries, but he never forgets who he really is. Understand? There are some plays where one person plays role of many people. The same person will act as king, the same person will act as beggar, the same person will act as some animal, the same person will act as someone else. While acting as all these people, as a king, as a beggar, as an animal, as a traveler, does he forget who he really is? After he has taken down, after he has removed the makeup, the costume, does that actor forget that who he really is? No, even while acting as those characters, he has not forgotten who he really is. He just has started acting as that particular character. And he does all the activities which are needed, required for that particular character. In the same way, a Jnani Mahatma, a Jivan Mukta, acts in the world without forgetting his own true nature, the self. That is the difference between Ajnani and Jnani. Ajnani never knows his real truth, the true nature. Ajnani never knows his own true nature. A Jnani, a knowledgeable person, knows. Now, Raman Maharshi ji is answering a very beautiful question, a very favorite question if you want to say. The question is about Prarabdha and Purushartha. Prarabdha, destiny or fate. Purushartha, self effort. Let us see. विधेः प्रयत्नस्य च कोऽपि वादः त्वयोर्द्वयोर्मूलमजानतां स्यात् विधेः प्रयत्नस्य च मूलवस्तु सञ्जानतां नैव विधिर्न यत्नः 21th verse विधेः प्रयत्नस्य न कोऽपि वादः Raman Maharshi ji is saying, he is teaching us, telling us, vidhehe of fate, of destiny, of prarabdha, prayatnasya cha, and of self-effort. Kahapi vadaha, vadaha, talk, debate, discussion. The discussion of fate and of self-effort. Tayoho dvayoho, of those two, moolam ajanatam syat. Those who do not know the source, syat, will be there, is possible. Vidhehe prayatnasya cha, of fate and effort, Moolavastu, the source, Sanjanatam, to them who know well, Sanjanatam, Sanjanat, those who know the truth, to them, Naeva vidhi, Naiva vidhi, there is neither fate, Nayatnaha, nor self-effort. It is possible to talk of fate or self-effort only when, only by those who do not know the source of the two, the truth behind these two. To them who know, to them who know well the source of these two, the truth behind these two, for them there is neither self-effort nor fate. What is prarabdha and what is purushartha? Fate, prarabdha. Prarabdha, sometimes in English, the fate is not the actual proper translation, but we will keep as it is, we will keep the word prarabdha henceforth. What is prarabdha? Prarabdha, as just explained, it is the results of those actions which have started giving results and which are going to come to me, which are inevitable. Okay. So prarabdha is something which is inevitable, which cannot be changed. It is going to come. Yes. Then what is the use of self-effort? Yes, you can put forth self-effort and reduce its effect. That means I can do self-effort. Okay. But if I will do these self-efforts or not, are they not ordained, controlled, governed by prarabdha? So, is it in my prarabdha to do self-effort? Yes. Doing self-effort, maybe that logic is right. So doing self-effort has to be in my prarabdha. But prarabdha is something which will start giving results when I have performed certain action. Yes. So for that prarabdha to be there, I have to perform action, that means self-effort, purushartha. Yes. So if prarabdha is because of purushartha and purushartha is because of prarabdha, where does this end? What is purushartha and what is prarabdha? That is the question. Let me give you a simple answer. In detail, of course, we are going to see again. But the simple answer is there is neither prarabdha, neither purushartha. There are just experiences and activities for anything. It is just an experience. Understand? If you become doer, then it is purushartha, and if you become enjoyer, then it is prarabdha. Simple. What is prarabdha and what is purushartha? If you become doer, it is purushartha, and if you become enjoyer, it is prarabdha. If you understand that you are neither doer nor enjoyer, how can there be prarabdha and purushartha? Prarabdha is for one who is enjoying, who is experiencing. Prarabdha is for experiencer because prarabdha is the results of karma, past actions, and the one who is experiencing those particular results, for with reference to that experiencer alone, those experiences will be referred to as called as prarabdha. For the actions that have been performed for those results, with reference to the doer of those actions will be labeled as purushartha. They will be called as purushartha. With reference to doer, it is purushartha. With reference to enjoyer, experiencer, it is prarabdha. In reality, there is neither prarabdha, neither purushartha. There are multiple nuances, small factors to this. What is in reality prarabdha, what is purushartha, that we have to see, but that in detail we will see next time. Om asatoma sadgamaya tamasoma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amritangamaya. Om shanti shanti shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.